Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Pass. Caught! Got it. Touchdown.
And that was the game-winning touchdown to, not very well described, by the way. Al Michaels, not a great call in your last game. As the Rams and Cooper Kupp, the MVP, win the Super Bowl in their own house. Twice in 2 years now that's happened. All right, welcome into the JP Peterson Show. We are back in Tampa Bay after my trek to the homeless tent city of Los Angeles. And the wonderful place that is. We'll get into that as we go through the show a little bit. But I would say if there was one word to describe this game, it would be weird. It's a weird game. It's a weird game. Nick Geddes from Outkick.com joining me here this morning. How are you, sir?
I do feel like a truck hit me this morning.
Why is that?
Not ready for Monday morning today.
No,
after the Super Bowl.
Late night Super Bowl activities.
Super Bowl. Yeah.
Where'd you watch the game?
I watched it at my mom's house,
Okay.
which is honestly a mistake because
I was going to say
they don't care about football, and my
That's a
sister
bad
was
choice.
over, and that's just a bad choice,
So what were they talking about?
It's just
Not
very
the game.
loud about talking about boyfriends and all that drama. I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, you should have gone to work.
Yeah.
Should have
No
gone to
doubt about
work.
No doubt about it.
What do you mean? I have to go to work. Sports bar. Yeah, somewhere. Well, it was just kind of a weird game. It was. By the way, I was not at the game. Even though it was a Super Bowl, most of the media members just leave before the game starts because you don't get a whole lot of access, especially anymore. So there's really no point in being there. And I wanted to kind of get back to Tampa because
Couldn't take any more days over there in LA.
what an awful city. What an awful place to have a Super Bowl. I mean, it's terrible. It's just it's nothing but a show. It has nothing to do with the football fans. It's all a dog and pony Hollywood, be seen and be seen, shootings at parties. I mean, it's just literally homeless people everywhere accosting you everywhere you go. And look, I have much compassion for the homeless. I really, really do. We need to do more for the homeless. What they're doing in California, it doesn't work. Just, we're not going to get into the politics of it, but it's just a terrible play. And juxtaposing it with Tampa Bay is wonderful. And we have homeless issues as well, but we seem to handle them a hell of a lot better than they do. And there's literally defecation everywhere you go. It's all smells like urine. It's terrible. It's not a beautiful city at all. Not like it used to be. Not even close. And it's sad. And the game itself, the stadium, I was over at the stadium and walked through the stadium a little bit earlier in the week, and it's a very antiseptic place. It doesn't have any character to it at all. It's slick, it's modern, video boards and everything. It's just the architecture is very modern and very plain, very minimalist, and it has what's its defining feature? The roof, probably, and it's no air conditioning.
No air
It
conditioning.
was hot as hell in there yesterday, which I kind of enjoyed. That all the Hollywood pretty folks got their makeup was running, even for the guys. So it was, it's just a very antiseptic place. And watching the game, there's no, like, you watch a game at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, it just gives it a different
feel to
feeling.
it.
There's a feel to it. There's character to the stadium, the skyline, the trees above the stadium, the green grass, and the beautiful pic. It's got richness to it, And watching that place, it just reeks of plastic, which is actually very LA. It's like a stadium that has had a lot of work done.
Yeah.
I
mean, I told you
and it's a little messed up.
Yeah.
And it's a little messed up. It's the Joan Rivers of stadiums, if I could say that. With all due respect.
Yeah, I told you, like, from my viewing experience at home, what threw me off, I don't know if it threw anybody else off, but the Super Bowl started at 3:30 local time in LA. And I'm seeing all this sun coming through.
Yeah.
It took me out of it a little bit. I had to really get used to it.
It's a weird setting.
It's a weird
I
setting.
don't like the stadium.
And football in a dome,
Yeah.
it's, to me, how do you have an experience like that in a dome?
Well, and we were just talking about this. What dome has character? Like when you watch a game in it, and it's like, oh, that's a big game. a little bit of the Caesars Dome, Superdome, it gives you a little bit of it, but that's even still a little, it's plasticky and it's old and it's, the Jerry World, the big board that gives it a little bit of, but that's not, it doesn't have any real character. I mean, like people like Raymond James Stadium, natural grass, the pirate ship, this, the beautiful scapes of Florida that they show from high above. It has character, right? The games have character like that. I think back to the national championship game. It has character when you're watching games, real grass outside, some design features to the stadium like the pirate ship and some other stuff that make it unique. That stadium is just like going to the dentist office. Awful. But anyway, so I don't know. I wonder if anybody else got that feeling. Like if this is going to be the place where we play all these championship games right now, I'm not down with it. I'd much rather be in the Rose Bowl. And I get it. Rose Bowl doesn't have the luxury boxes that's needed. Maybe they could circle the top of the rim. But anytime they play a championship game in LA, it's now going to be at SoFi Stadium and not the Rose Bowl. Is the Rose Bowl going to move to SoFi Stadium? God, I hope not. God, I hope not. Like the Cotton Bowl moved. Of course, that Cotton Bowl stadium's trash. But the Rose Bowl is not. Mm-hmm. And I hope if they have a national championship game in LA, they're not going to play it in the Rose Bowl. They're going to play it in SoFi Stadium. And that's awful. That's awful.
Doesn't it kind of remind you of the analogy you always use about like Miami and the Orange Bowl?
Yeah.
And then Hard Rock?
Yes.
It's exactly the same.
It's the same thing. Yeah. I mean, think about the games that you watched in the Orange Bowl, and then think about the games that you watch, wherever. Not cool. All right, so that's just kind of an aside. We got to get into the game as well. And I mean, what can you say about? I mean, two guys. This was a co-MVP situation for me. It should have been Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah,
and no question about it. And Matthew Stafford, you could throw him in there as well, dude. That no look pass that he threw on that final drive. I mean, I just saw Dan Orlovsky break that down. That was one of the sickest throws I think I've ever seen in my life. I think nobody really talked about it as much last night, but I think as this week goes on, that's going to become one of the iconic moments of this Super Bowl, especially when you see it broken down. Because I don't think Al Michaels really picked up on it, or Collinsworth. By the way, didn't it seem like they were just out of their game last night? Maybe
little monotone, I guess.
Little monotone. I think they were very cautious.
Yeah.
It just Al Michaels, I don't know. It just didn't seem like he was on his game in his last game for NBC.
Whole broadcast felt weird.
It did. The whole thing felt weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it did. And I was very hyped like when it started, and then like it was weird from this standpoint. Like The Rock, when they had The Rock on everything,
right?
That's fine.
Yeah.
But why were the players on the field already like waiting to kick off, and then you have The Rock talk for like 3 minutes?
Yeah.
That was odd for me.
Yeah.
That was odd. Like from that moment on, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. None of it.
Yeah, that could have been a little bit more could have been done before they came out. But then it wouldn't have been, I don't think it would have been stupid then.
It's just weird to me. They're all just standing there on the field waiting to kick off while Rock does his WWE promo here. It's just a little
I was
weird
wondering,
to
like,
me.
was that? I mean, is NBC getting into wrestling or something? I'm like, why is he
WWE
there?
Network is on Peacock now.
Oh, see, I knew there had to be something.
So there you go. That's a plug.
It's that was a little weird.
Yeah.
Anthem was great though.
Oh, that was one of the best anthems in a while.
Really, really well done. Really well done. The flyover was cool.
But then again, there's no roof, so you can't see the flyover come over.
You can't see a flyover. Yeah. Yeah. And it was a weird setting and a weird game.
Yeah.
A weird game. And you know what? It kind of struck, especially when Odell Beckham went down. It was like, these teams aren't even very good. You know, it was like, it wasn't even good football. It's like a lot of running into the line for no gain.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're going to break down some of the coaches' decisions here. I don't know what the hell Zach Taylor was doing, and I don't know what the hell McVay was doing. No. I mean, do you know, this is unbelievable stat. The Rams pass rush success rate was 82%.
Yeah.
82%. That's the highest level of any game this year. Like 82% of their rushes they won. How the hell did Joe Burrow survive the game? He almost didn't. I mean, that's unbelievable. Like, I mean, when you consider if you had no offensive line, it would be 100%. It's not far off that.
No.
It's not far off that. With no offensive line. If you had nobody standing there, it was only 18% better than having nobody. Think about that. 18% better than having nobody in front of Joe Burrow. My God, that's horrible.
That was the worst collective offensive line unit to probably play in a Super Bowl.
Ever.
And Joe Burrow, I started thinking about this.
Wow.
He got sacked 16 times if you combine just the Titans game and the Super Bowl. Like, if he got sacked that many times in a 4-game Super Bowl run, we'd all be sounding the alarm bell. But in just 2 games alone, 16 sacks for Joe Burrow.
I mean, how did they run any offense at all?
I don't, and they kept running the ball.
Yeah.
They just said we're going to go. They had to run it.
Why the hell was Samaje Perine in instead of Joe Mixon on a crucial 3rd and 1 where Aaron Donald just picks him up with one arm and throws him? He ain't doing that to Joe Mixon.
That whole sequence to me, it was why Zach Taylor was. I think he's a little. I don't think he's the reason why they were there by any means. Zach Taylor.
He had a bad day.
He had a very bad day. Samaje Perine, you got to have it, and that's your guy. And you run right into Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
And even the play before that, 2nd and 1, let's just throw one deep away and move on to the next play.
Yeah.
It just very perplexing to me.
Yeah, and never did max protect. Never saw a 7-man protection. I think they did 6-man protection maybe 3 or 4 times. But I mean, that was another criticism I had of the Bucs when they played the Rams. Why did they not go more max protect? The only time they went max protect, he threw a 55-yard touchdown to Mike Evans. Not the only time. But with Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow's an incredible thrower of the football. So if you go max protect, what are you giving up? You're giving up receivers in the route, right? But if you still have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins running routes, and you can put one more out even in that, you can go max protect. All right, those guys will get open for a split second, and he'll be able to deliver the football even against 2 or 3 guys. We saw that with Cooper Kupp in the last drive, did we not?
Yeah.
I mean, Matthew Stafford was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it to him. I'm going to figure out a way to throw it to him. And that no-look pass during that drive was unbelievable. He literally has Cooper Kupp just hooking around the middle. The tight end stopped at about 15 yards on the right-hand side, and he's staring at him the whole time. And Von Bell, who's sitting in the deep safety where Cooper Kupp's about to run, he's staring down that other receiver. This is something we used to do in flag football all the time. It was part of our staple of plays. Everybody, at very advanced level, they all do it. You look one way and you throw the other. But those are short passes. What he did in that situation, in that moment, literally threw the ball right at Von Bell, hoping and praying that he was going to react to the player he was looking at, and literally threw a 20-yard no-look pass over the middle of the field with everything on the line in the Super Bowl and drilled Cooper Kupp right in the freaking chest. Like, screw you, Pat Mahomes, hold my beer. Watch this.
I mean, wasn't that what everybody's been saying? He's been doing it for years. You just weren't watching.
Right. Well, he was in Detroit. How the hell was I supposed to watch?
Yeah, you got to see
it. Hey, stop. We got to watch the Lions-Vikings game today. It's a 1:00 while the Bucs are playing. Let's go watch some Matthew Stafford lose again.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not watching yet. No, we haven't been watching. I admit.
I get it, but no, I'm glad he was good in that moment because if I'm being honest here, I mean, I already had my whole spiel to go on today until that last drive because he didn't play pretty good until that moment.
Stafford?
I didn't think he played that well. After the Odell Beckham injury, they could not complete a pass to anybody else but Cooper Kupp. Yeah, they couldn't. And that last drive, they kind of just said, screw it. We're just going to start doing
Cooper Kupp.
I don't want to say dink and dunk, but they were doing, the 8 to 10 yards, let them get into the soft zone and keep moving the ball.
Right. So where he's matched up against linebackers inside. And even though there's 2 of them there, you can still find a hole for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, because it made no sense. And Sean McVay was another guy I was going to bang on pretty good. And I think I still have reason to.
Sure you do, yeah.
I mean, why the hell are you running the ball 25 times last night?
Yeah, that was bizarre.
You're running it just for running its sake. He got very safe after Odell Beckham, and I had it all lined up. I'm like, just because Odell Beckham goes out, you're an offensive genius. You're a wizard. Let's see it.
Did it kind of feel like he didn't trust Stafford? I mean, one of the interceptions was clearly not his fault.
Yeah, I didn't bother me, no.
The interception, the deep one on 3rd and 14 into the end zone that Bates got.
That's a punt.
Yeah, but it's an underthrow. He's got to be better there. He's got to make a better throw, number one. Number two, you're in scoring position. Even though it's 3rd and 14, if you get If you dump it down on a screen, which, by the way, were they not allowed to call screen passes last night, especially the Bengals?
Yeah, they were not in the playbook, no.
I mean,
well, remember the AFC Championship? They couldn't stop calling screen passes, the Bengals.
Why no screen passes this game? They outsmart each other. They outsmart themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, oh, we just called a lot of screens last game, so we're not going to do it this game. Well, it's what you do. It's one of the great things you do. Plus, that's how you slow down a pass rush. I mean, Mixon ran the ball a little bit. They were somewhat effective in running Joe Mixon, and then they took him out of the game. There's a lot of bizarre coaching decisions. The fourth day early on, where the Bengals go for Burrow misses a wide open T. Higgins on the outside because he's trying to force the ball to Jamar Chase. That's not coaching, but I did like going for it on fourth down there.
I was about to, I was really like questioning late in the game when the Bengals went. They were like up, I think, what was it, 16 or 17-13 at the time, and there was another fourth down. And I'm like, just kick the field goal. Yeah. Just kick the field goal and get it over with.
Yeah.
And they went for it. I know Burrow ran and got it. They kicked the field goal in the first place. But in that moment, I was like, just kick the field goal.
Yeah.
Don't risk anything. You're going to go up by a touchdown anyway. So, yeah, the coaching to me, I didn't get it at all last night. Really didn't.
Yeah, there was a lot of mistakes. But you know what? Young coaches, 2 coaches under 40. I think they were not at their best, either one of them. But the players were. And, let's talk about Aaron Donald for a second. I mean, my goodness, that guy, he took over the game late in the game. And again, how you're singling up Aaron Donald on that play at the end of the game, it just makes no sense. How do you single up 4th down and 1? How do you single up Aaron Donald in that situation? That's terrible coaching. Terrible coaching. You just can't do it. That's what you're there for. Yep. You're, as a coach, as an offensive line coach or as a head coach, you have to understand who their best players are and block them. You can't, and I understand that even 2 guys might not block it, but you just can't try with 1 guy. I mean, that's just a joke.
You have to be sick if you're a Cincinnati fan knowing that on 4th and 1 with 40 seconds left in the Super Bowl, you didn't even get a chance.
Well, you had 3rd and 1. You had 3rd and 1.
I know 3rd and 1 was the awful call to Pirine, but on the 4th and 1, you just had no chance to even do anything because Donald was in his face after a second.
And who could not have predicted that in a one-on-one situation? And I said, well, they, the Rams brought a formation where somebody was getting singled up. Well, it ain't going to be Aaron Donald. It's not going to be Aaron Donald.
No,
that's just terrible.
I watched him all last night. I don't think I've ever seen, and I don't think you'll ever see a guy at that position be that much of a game wrecker.
No,
ever again.
No,
seriously.
And it wasn't just those 2 plays at the end. It was a 3rd down when they were in scoring position again in their second to last drive. Where they ended up getting the field goal.
Yeah,
3rd and 3. Aaron Donald again, scot-free, single blocked, coming right through.
He bull rushed him all the way back to Burrow.
Bull rushed him all the way back to Burrow. He just literally said, I'm going to go win the game. And you can't do that from a defensive tackle position. You just can't, because most of the time good coaches are going to double you up. And he didn't get done. It was bizarre on so many. Again, I keep coming back to it. It was a weird game. We're just going to do some talking here before, and we'll take a break. We'll come back and do a lot of the sound, and we'll hear from all the different principals. What did you think of the halftime, Sean?
I loved it. Myself. Yeah. I'm not, if you listen to the show, we're not the biggest rap guys, I guess, hip hop, but I do kind of like the old style.
Yes, old hip hop.
Way over the new one. Like those beats that you heard, they're so like iconic. Like I got goosebumps watching it.
Yes.
And I love Dr. Dre. I don't think he gets his due, I guess, as one of the legends.
He did this time.
I was a big Eminem fan growing up, so seeing those 2 was really cool.
And Snoop
Dogg, who he didn't light a blunt on. There was bets. Would he light a blunt up on stage? He lighted up underneath the stage before he went out. There's video of that now. So
how does that prop bet get settled? It's got to be on stage.
It's got to be on stage. He did not do it
on stage.
No.
And he almost said mother.
He almost said mother.
He kind of did. They kind of just like
yeah, he kind of just said, yeah.
Whatever.
So I really enjoyed it. Now, for people that are prisoners of the moment, I don't think it was the greatest halftime show ever.
I didn't, as much as I loved it, I didn't wow me. I didn't go, I love it.
Really?
No, it wasn't like the wow factor. It was more of like, yeah. I was like, that's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to see. That was perfect. That was good. It hyped me up. But I think like some of the others, I just went, wow, that was spectacular.
I just like.
So it wasn't spectacular, but it was awesome. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I wouldn't put it like in the top like 3 realm.
Yeah.
But top 5, top 7.
Yeah.
I could.
Definitely
I will
top
say
5.
this.
Definitely top 5.
I would put it as probably the best halftime show since Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
in 2014.
That was outstanding.
That one was outstanding. And then before his, you'd have
that's spectacular.
Yeah, and then
the dancing, the music, everything.
And then before him, you got to go back to Springsteen and Prince to get better ones.
Yeah, Prince was amazing in the rain, the Purple Rain.
Yeah.
But it didn't it was more about the people, more about the stars.
Yeah.
And that's great because that's who they are. They're iconic stars. We want to hear you play your best songs. We want you to kick it. And just it was great. It was focused on them, not as much on the dancing or the show around it.
Yeah,
which is appropriate.
And they did that probably because of COVID. They probably didn't want 1 million people down there on the field.
Probably.
But I kind of liked it that way, you know?
Yeah.
I really did. And I thought it was really, really good, but not. If you're saying it's the best halftime show ever, you need to get out of the moment.
I gave it an 8.5, 8.5, 9. It's good. It was strong.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I think it's a great show. I think it's the best one in nearly a decade.
That's a great show. Yeah, Snoop was awesome, and Dre was fantastic, and Mary Jo Blige looked great.
Even Kendrick Lamar. I'm not a new school guy, but I was kind of impressed with his little his thing he did.
Eminem, that's the song I want to hear. Yeah. Got one shot.
Yeah, they all played the hits, man.
Yeah,
and
it was good.
I was going to say that's what it was. The crowd too. I don't recall a crowd being that loud after. Like, did you hear the ovation they got?
The crowd was more hyped for and this is so LA, for the halftime show than they were for the game. Yeah. I mean, early on in the game, I think the first drive, Stafford or they did something. The Rams did something. There was barely a ripple of a sound.
No, it wasn't.
There was no cheer whatsoever. I mean, people were probably still outside showing their vaccine cards and their IDs. That's another thing. Everywhere you went. Do you have your papers? We must see your papers before you may enter and have a hamburger. Is all your papers in order? I need to see your ID and match it up with your COVID card. My God. Everywhere you went, go to the bathroom, you had to show your. And here's the other thing. Not one mask at the Super Bowl. All these kids around California still wearing masks in their school. I mean, unbelievable. I retweeted this morning, this long letter that this mom wrote to, and I'll read it later in the show. I think it's very appropriate. And about my kids aren't wearing masks to school today. And last week they had to wear masks in during a heat advisory outside at PE. And I didn't see one Hollywood celebrity, not one official, no mayor, no governor, not one of them wearing a mask. Not one of them.
You know who was wearing a mask?
Who?
Ye. He was wearing a mask. Did you see him next to Antonio Brown?
No.
You didn't see that?
Mm-mm.
Your boy Antonio Brown spent like $50,000 or something to go to the Super Bowl in his seat or whatever. And he was sitting next to him and they showed him on the screen. And he was wearing a mask and then like a ski mask all over you couldn't even see his face. Kanye West.
Yeah, he was?
Yeah. Why?
Was.
I don't know. You know how Ye rolls.
I don't.
Well, yeah, your boy Antonio was there too.
Great. What a we have to go back to that. And I should kind of circle back to this. Last week we talked about this on Radio Row, and I talked to a couple other guys over the weekend. I actually talked to a lot of national media about the supposed Brady Arians rift that has been, hinted at, reported on, blah, 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 blah. And there's no question that there's a lot of smoke here. There's a lot of smoke here. And I don't want to, make this come off as, Arians issue here or Brady issue. I think it's just, I don't know who to blame because we don't know all the facts. But I think at this point, I don't think there's any question that there was a rift between those two towards the end of the season in terms of how to run the offense, game planning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it was kind of Brady and Leftwich kind of wanted to handle it. This is what I'm hearing. Again, I get anybody to go on the record. Nobody wants to go on the record about any of this stuff because, it first of all, it could screw with their employment. Number one, players don't want to talk about it because it's about the head coach and Tom Brady. Nobody wants to talk about it. It is absolutely publicly. Nobody wants to be quoted. They'll talk about it privately and say off the record, but, and it's hard to go report a story when you have nobody that wants to go on the record. And I know a lot of stories get done that way. So that's why I don't want to, put out a story that there was a huge rift between Brady and Arians, because I don't know that for a fact. Because neither one of them are talking about it. And does it have anything to do with Brady's retirement? I think it has to have. No question about it. And it may not just be Arians. It may be issues that Brady had with the entire organization. Seth Wickersham said this, basically speaks to Brady and Brady's dad mostly. Brady's dad is the one who gets a lot of this information out. And obviously Brady's dad's talking to Tom. And he was the one that said it's tougher in the building than people know. There was, even Levante David called it turmoil. I mean, there are quotes out there. There are people on the record, but nothing specific about what was happening. And was that the reason that Brady retired? I think it's definitely one of the reasons. If everything was honky-dory and going the way he wanted it, number one, they probably would have won the Super Bowl. Number two, he would probably still be coming back to play. I think there are things that weren't as buttoned up as he wanted them to be. For years and years and years, he played in a place where, there a lot of this, any of the stuff that went on in Tampa Bay would not be tolerated. But, you also have Tom also, and this, I think some of this is on Brady as well. You can't have your cake and eat it too, right? I think part of Brady's success in his first year was, him being able to express himself more and have more control over what was going on that he didn't have in New England. He was able to have more fun. I think the game was more fun for him. He enjoyed it more. And if you're enjoying the game, you're going to play better. You're going to have better chemistry on your team. And that's what the Bucs did in the Super Bowl season. This year, it did seem somewhat disjointed at times. And you go back and look at the offense over the last few weeks, especially against the Rams, it was awful. And what? Why not? We asked these questions. Why not? Why didn't they go up tempo like they did against the Eagles? Was that something that Arians put a nix on? I don't know. Is it something Brady put in? I don't know. But they should have done it. Why did they go with Josh Wells at right tackle when he was injured and couldn't stand up? Why not? Why did they not kick Kappa out to tackle and put Stinney in? I know because they wanted Stinney to play that sixth offensive line role, but what's more important, your starting guys or a sub package? There were a lot of questionable things that were going on that, the whole handling of the AB situation. I'm not saying that Bruce was wrong. If AB doesn't want to go back into the game, then I agree with him. Get the F off the sideline. Bruce didn't cut him right there. He said, get the hell out. He said, you're out for the game. Now, if Antonio Brown misinterpreted that, whatever. And AB was causing problems anyway. And I think this was a big part of it. And I've heard this from multiple reporters now, that AB was causing problems even way back into the early part of the season. And Tom was trying to keep him, focused and not go back into old AB. And Bruce was like, get this guy out of my face. Like, I didn't want him here in the first place. You guys said you're going to control him. You better control him, because he was getting out of control. And I think Bruce had enough. And I support him in that decision. And Tom say, you kick the guy off the sideline. Really? Well, Tom thinking about it myopically. I got to have that guy to run this route at this particular time to win. Whereas Bruce has to think about the entire team, right? If one guy does it, guess what? Everybody else is going to want to do it too. And that fractures your team. So Arians is trying to keep the whole team together, while Brady is like being more myopic about his needs on offense. And I get that. I get everybody is trying to win. I get it. But this is where you got to stay in your lane. If you're a player, even if you're Tom Brady, and a player like Antonio Brown is basically challenging your coach in his face that he's not going to do what he wants him to do. He's not. He's going to bitch and moan about getting targets. He's going to bitch and moan about this. As a head coach, you have a responsibility to the whole team, and I don't think Brady really embraced that idea.
But can I make the argument that the first year, as you said, when things were all, all great, sunflowers and rainbows, whatever, and they won a Super Bowl doing it that way. And Tom came here because they gave him a lot of roster control, and everything he wanted, Tom got. If that's the case where it just happened this year, he didn't get everything he wanted. Well, in my opinion, that's not on Brady. That's not his problem.
They should give him everything he wants.
Because you won a Super Bowl that way.
Well, again, but what about to the point that so AB can just do whatever the hell he wants? He can do whatever the hell he wants, but we're asking every other player, not you got to stay within the confines, but this guy can go do whatever he can have hookers in Saturday night before the game, licking toilets, spreading COVID. That's fine. But nobody else can do that. It doesn't work that way, bro.
No, I mean,
it doesn't work that way.
We talked about it at that time. The second it impacted something on the field, okay, it didn't matter what he did off the field, but what he did on the field, that was it.
I'm telling you, if guys are like, well, AB's bringing chicks in the night before the game, why can't I?
There's probably a part of Tom that goes, man, if I still had that guy on my team there in January against the Rams, then we're probably lifting it today.
Yes, absolutely on the field. But you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have a guy that's doing whatever the F he wants to do and tell everybody else on the team don't do what AB's doing. Listen, I understand that everybody is special, and you got to let the really talented players you give a little bit more leash, but you can't give them that much leash.
I know
that's too much. And AB kept crossing the line, and Brady. I'm sorry. Look, Brady's not, I know he's awesome, but he's not right in every situation. He doesn't know everything, and he's being myopic about, I got to have AB. Well, okay. Well, then control your boy. Get him to stop having hookers come over on Saturday night. And by the way, what he did was premeditated. So whatever Arians was going to do, he was going to walk off the field anyway. So, Brady can be mad all he wants, but, in this situation, I got to side with Bruce Arians. Yes, of course we'd love to have. You know whose fault this is? AB. Just do what everybody else is doing, bro. That's all you got to do. Collect your millions of dollars, go out and play football, and stop being an asshole. Stop trying to have everything your way and spit in the face of authority because that's all you know how to do since you were a kid. That's the problem with bringing in AB. And Brady is too myopic to understand that. He knows that it's got to be within the team framework. Belichick wouldn't have ever put up with any of that crap. Well, he didn't. He was gone as soon as he crossed the line. So, if this is why Brady, if Brady's saying, well, I'm not coming unless I get AB back. AB is never coming back under Bruce Arians. So what's Brady going to say? Get rid of Arians and bring AB back? You okay with that?
Bring back Brady, but not Arians? Is that what you're saying?
So if this is completely hypothetical. If Brady's sitting back there going, well, I think Leftwich should be the head coach. Arians is, he's aged out, so to speak. We need if Arians and AB can't get along, we need to bring back AB. I can't. No. Are you seriously thinking about this?
No. I'm just saying I can't even look at it like that because listen, Belichick and Brady were together for 20 years, right? I mean, and everybody acted so surprised that after 20 years that there was not bad blood, but maybe disagreements along the way, which is totally normal.
Of course there were.
I understand it was only 2 years. And you're thinking, it's only been 2. How can it be any worse than what he dealt with Belichick? How could it be any worse?
Well, I think
20 years and 2.
I think Brady. Well, I know this. Brady was just upset that the Bucs didn't run as tight a ship as Belichick did. But at the same time, he's pissed about that. But at the same time, he wants AB to be able to do whatever he wants.
But here's the thing.
Again, it doesn't make sense.
I don't get that argument if that was Brady's point of view because Brady is admittedly the one who let himself down a little bit more than usual, right? Did he not?
In what sense?
He was more free-flowing than he was in New England, was he not?
Yeah, but still stayed within his preparation structure.
If he had that argument, it wouldn't make sense anyway.
Right.
It wouldn't make any sense. I don't know. We'll have to see if we can get like you said, and concrete people.
And again, we're speculating about all of this. This is based on a lot of people talking about this. This is not just wild speculation. Yeah. It's about we have multiple people on the record in Levante David and Seth Wickersham and a lot of other people saying, there was turmoil. Now, what exactly the turmoil was, we're just reading the tea leaves.
I just don't know how big it is. I don't know how big it could be to make, Brady was like, I guess I'm not coming back then. I just don't.
It was big enough that he retired. Do you think we all thought that he was going to play another year? Did we not?
Yeah, I would have probably banked on it.
Right. And what happened? And so all these things we've just talked about, you don't think that makes more sense than anything?
I don't think it's the biggest thing, no. If it was, I really don't.
You think family's the biggest thing?
I really do. And I honestly think if Tom had it his way, Tom had it his way, I still think he'd be coming back for another year. I will believe that. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not speaking to Tom Brady. I think he would definitely like to come back because he committed for 3 years in the first place. He wouldn't have signed a 2-year deal last year, okay, to come back for 2 more years if he didn't mean it.
But again, speculating. And it's fun. It's fun speculation, folks. You get all stuff. Oh, I believe you're speculating here. But what if Brady is doing the ultimate power play right here? And he's saying, look, clean stuff up, and I'll come back. But on the contrary, though, you've heard other people. That's power. But I've heard other people like Mike Evans. I've heard Ryan Jensen say it, Ali Marpet. It was the strongest locker room they've ever been a part of. I've heard it from those guys. It's when I hear Mike Evans say stuff like that, I'm taking his word as gold too, because I know that guy's been in some bad locker rooms. Okay? Then why did Levante say there was turmoil?
I get it. There could be a moment where maybe we're just taking it super out of context when he said it. Who knows? In that moment,
he's not the only one to say it, though.
I know. I have a hard time believing that Tom Brady is going to just have this whole concoction like this, where he's like going to strong arm the organization. I really do. He's kind of done it the whole time. I can't see it.
He's done it the whole. He did it with AB, bro.
I can't see it.
All right, let's. We're over. We're supposed to be taking our break. We don't care. We run the show. Listen, he did it with Antonio Brown. Bruce Arians was never, and I mean never. I mean, you heard what he said publicly about not wanting AB.
Yeah, I got it.
Can you tell? You know what he said to me? I can't even repeat it, and I won't because it's somewhat confidential. But I could tell you in spirit, there was no effing way in the world that he was ever. And I said that on the radio 100 times. Did I not?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what Bruce had said. It's never. And the reason he backed it up with a lot of reasons. So how did AB get here?
Tom.
Okay. Tom pulled the power. He overruled the coach.
You really think Tom Brady, though, would retire and do the whole video, the whole statement that was like an essay long?
What video?
He did do a video.
He did?
Yeah, he did a video.
I didn't see the video was made. I saw a statement.
He had a video about a day or two after.
Okay, that one.
Do you really think he would go through all that and then just say, "Oh, I'm doing it so that they can give me my way, and then I'm coming back"? Come on,
I don't think it's as overt as that. I think there's subtle messages, but like you said, the main reason he retired is because of his family. I believe that. I believe that's the main reason. I believe a sub reason is things did not go as well as they should have in the second year. You heard Solomon Wilcots on our interview say the whole thing. It should have been easier the second year, and it wasn't. Why wasn't it? Okay, and look at the dysfunction in the offense too. And you could say, well, it's because they lost Godwin, and that's part of it.
Dysfunction aside, the Bucs had the number one offense in the league.
I know, but towards in the playoffs, that Rams game, they were awful.
They were, and they still almost pulled it out.
And look, the Rams defense pretty damn good.
Yeah,
this just in, but they had opportunities to do other things. They weren't the Jets game. We're talking. There were games they should have blown these teams out.
I'm still telling you right now, though, if they had the healthy parts in place, take AB out of the equation, okay? Assuming he's not even there.
Right, I think we're getting off track here. The bottom line is Brady has shown the ability to overrule the head coach. He did it with AB.
Well, of course.
So you think that's exactly what he's doing now?
I don't think he would do that like that when it comes to his retirement, though. I just can't see that.
All right. Well, I don't know either. It does sound a little strong-armish, but if you look at the AB situation, it doesn't get any more strong-armish than that. He overruled his head coach. He did. Overruled or convinced. Take your pick. But whatever it is, it happened, right? So if Brady – and Brady maybe not threatening, but Jason Light knows what the issues are. The Glazers know what the issues are. They know. And if he just retires and he's been bitching about this stuff for a while, which is what I'm hearing, then by the way, Brady bitches all the time about stuff. He always wants things his way. But if they know what the issues are and they know he retired because part of it and his family, And I think there has to be a conversation with Tom, like, what do you need to come back? And he would say exactly what he needs to come back. And now are the Glazers willing to meet those demands, whatever those demands might be?
I mean, clearly we just
never say never.
Yeah. I mean, clearly we just we just saw the reports yesterday from two very credible sources, as good as you can get in the league, that they're holding out hope that he's going to do a 180 here.
That's right.
So it is as real as ever. It's a conversation you could have that Tom Brady could actually return.
All right. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to get into those reports about who the Bucs are looking at, very credible reports from Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport. Very much, by the way, what you heard here last week. And we'll get into what's going to happen, what's next for the Buccaneers. And we'll have all the sound for you from the Super Bowl as well. Stay with us. Hey, folks, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center, a very different kind of approach to primary care. Personalized preventative medicine, not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. Christopher Lugo and his experienced medical staff are proactive in looking at issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Rather than the impersonal, rushed approach, you will be the only patient and will have our full attention. That's new. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. Bay Area Modern Medical Centers are experts in anti-aging regenerative medicine that optimizes your body's performance in many areas. So call for an appointment to get started on a journey back to full health and a happy life with a new, modern way of healthcare. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. JP here for my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defects, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure you will receive the most aggressive and compassionate representations. He has recovered millions in settlements on behalf of his clients facing defective stucco damage and other construction issues. So call Chris, mention the JP Show, and he will give you a free consultation. That's 813-221-5636, or go to PalermoPA.com. He's a fifth-generation Tampanian, graduate of Jesuit High School and the University of Florida, and he cares deeply about you and the community. That's 221-5636 or PalermoPA.com. Homeowners, listen up. Property values have risen in the Tampa Bay area to record levels, some up to 24% in 1 year. It's time to refinance your home and pull out the equity before rates go through the roof. Call my man Scott Fitzgerald at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Scott believes interest rates will be over 5 very soon due to the volatile economy and inflation, but you can still lock in the mid-3s, but not for long. This means you can save tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Now, Scott is an independent broker, so he can shop your mortgage around for the best rates, and he will pay for your appraisal if you mention you heard it here on the JP Show. That's a $500 to $700 value. Scott does not charge the huge upfront fees like the big banks do. In this uncertain economy and political climate, better to have cash in hand now. So call Scott at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course in Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth. Wow, the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com. Are you selling your home or refinancing? JP here for Greenleaf Title. You choose the title company, not the realtor, and it makes a difference. You want a reputable company that will make sure your title is safe and secure. There are a lot of scammers out there right now, so go with a trusted company like Greenleaf Title. Plus, they will close anywhere, folks, and they will send a limo to pick you up to come to the closing. Yep, the great JP Limo Closing is back. All you got to do is give them a call at 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. We'll set up the limo for you. They'll come pick you up. Heck, we even picked up one couple, took them to Black Rock Restaurant, one of our favorite advertisers, and then to the closing. That's how they do it at Greenleaf Title. Great service. We'll close anywhere. The lowest fees in the business. 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. That's greenleaftitle.com. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. If you're feeling run down, your workout sucks, or your sexual libido is not what it used to be, check out Bay Area Modern Medical Center. That happened to me a few years ago, and I found out I had the testosterone level of a second-grade girl. That's not good. Our food, environment, and stress can cause your T levels to drop. Bay Area Modern Medical Center can help, and they are different. They offer customized hormone replacement for both men and women. Christopher Lugo and his medical staff can help you restore your energy, your sex drive, and your feelings of well-being. It was a total game changer for me. I have way more energy, lost 30 pounds, and I'm performing better in all areas of my life. Nobody wants to talk about sexual health, but it's key to a balanced life. We offer discreet treatments with real-world results. So if you're suffering from a lack of interest in sex, ED, or lack of sexual stamina, Dr. Lugo and his staff can help. Take your health care to the next level at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show with JP on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. If you have some issues with storm damage, your roof is damaged, we've had some bad weather recently, and if a couple shingles come off your roof, or maybe you got some cracked stucco, whatever it is on your house, and your homeowner's insurance is giving you kind of that pain in the ass routine, well, you don't have to take that. Just call Christopher and he will hook you up. He's been doing this for a long, long time, folks. He's an expert in the field. So he's gone up against these home insurance companies many, many times, recovered millions and millions of dollars for his clients. So if you have any of that type of issue or real estate law that you need an expert, somebody to fight for you like a junkyard dog, well, Christopher Palermo is the man. Just go to PalermoPA.com. That's PalermoPA.com, and you can find out all the information right there. All right, I mentioned the article by Tom Pelissero, I think it was, and was it Ian Rappaport as well? Basically saying that the Bucs are looking at a few options, and one of them is definitely having Brady come back. And we kind of gone over that option. And I think if they do that, where they'll go right now is obviously they can stand pat with their draft choices and they can elevate Blaine Gabbert to the starter, Kyle Trask as your backup. But you better have a damn good feel that Brady's coming back, because I don't think you're not going to be able to get Ryan Jensen back, some of these other guys. I don't think you'll be able to inspire them to come back if you don't have Brady or a very veteran solution. Now, also in that article was Russell Wilson. Now, Russell has not indicated at all that he wants to be traded. He did last year, but lately he's been saying, I'm good, I can stay in Seattle, which I don't believe for a second. Not behind that line. And he just watched what happened to Joe Burrow, and he's watched what happened to Matthew Stafford, right? Mm-hmm. And he watched what happened to Brady. Again, folks, you can't really rely on what these guys say because it's all smokescreen. Do you really think that Russell Wilson is sitting there next to the commissioner yesterday in the stadium watching Joe Burrow run for his life just like he's done the last 3 years, and he say, I want to go back to Seattle and rebuild with them? Hell effing no. He's looking at Matthew Stafford hold a Vince Lombardi trophy. He's looking at Tom Brady hold a Vince Lombardi trophy and say, I need to go find a place where I can be protected, have some weapons. It's the same thing that Brady did, the same exact thing. And I look at this situation, The only thing that's different for me is that the Bucs didn't have to give up any compensation. So that's why it was so easy for me to look at the Brady situation and go, oh, he's coming here, no doubt about it. Now with Russell Wilson, there are some mitigating factors that are out of the Buccaneers' control. How much does Seattle want? How much are they, and how much are we willing to part? How much are the Bucs willing to part with? I don't think that there's any question they feel like it's a good fit, even though it may not be, quote, for the Arians offense. Russell Wilson is a winner. As I said with Tom Brady, it doesn't matter what offense you run. He'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. You better be able to figure it out with that much talent.
I could give a crap about scheme.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. People get all wrapped up in that crap, and it does not matter.
You know what? Let's be honest. People that say that crap, you don't even know what you're talking about.
A lot of smart people.
You want to break down your schemes with me? Go right ahead. I'm talking about fans. Okay, right. You want to get into a scheme talk? Let's go.
No, it doesn't. That's why everybody said that about Brady. Oh, he's not a good fit for the Arian system. I'm like,
what's that even mean?
Like, first of all, look at the players you have on the field. If you can't figure it out with that kind of talent, then you're an idiot coach. You're an idiot coach. Figure it out. That's your job. You don't have a quote scheme. Everybody has a scheme that they work within. I get it. But if you're not good enough coach to be malleable and fit to what your talent says you should be doing, like with Russell Wilson, it should be nothing but a plus that the guy can not only throw from the pocket, but throw outside the pocket.
Yeah. The scheme does not matter. It really doesn't.
So once we're past the scheme, now it's about compensation. And all you got to do is look at what the Rams gave up for Stafford. 2 1s, a 3, and a quarterback. All right?
Yeah.
And, you can say what you want about Jared Goff. Is he that much better than Blaine Gabbert? Is he that much better than the potential of Kyle Trask? No. Yeah, I'll answer that for you. No. So if the price is 2 1s, a 3, and Kyle Trask or Blaine Gabbert's a free agent. If you want Kyle Trask, there you go.
I'd have no problem with it. I'll give you 3 first, to be honest. I have no problem.
Ooh, wow.
I have no problem. It keeps me on a Super Bowl winning trajectory.
Well, and if Russell Wilson's going to be here for 3 years, like you think he is,
you could probably restructure something, do 4. You could do 5. He could be here for the end of his career if he wanted.
With this roster that you have moving forward,
yeah.
I mean, and plus him coming here, more players coming here, and people wanting to play in Tampa Bay now. Guess what? You're picking in the high 20s anyway. So you're giving away first-round picks that are 27 this year, probably be the same in the next 2 or 3 years, hopefully in the same position. Are those that valuable in exchange for a bona fide Hall of Fame quarterback, which is what Russell Wilson is, at 33 years of age? Of course you give up the picks. Absolutely you give up the picks.
My question to that is,
look at the Rams.
Who's more valuable? Yeah, exactly. Who's more valuable, Jalen Ramsey or the 28th pick in the draft? Who's more valuable? The 28th
pick and the 28th pick next year, Jalen Ramsey.
The 26th pick or Matthew Stafford?
And this just in. Look how the Rams won the Super Bowl. They had a lot of good players, but the stars were the ones who won the game on their individual ability.
Every single one.
On their individual ability. Cooper Kupp, great plays. Aaron Donald, great plays. Von Miller, great plays. Floyd, great plays. And Stafford
when he needed to.
Stafford when he needed to, great plays. They're difference makers. You have every team has probably. I think Rondé told me this, and I'm paraphrasing here, so Rondé, don't crush me if I get it wrong. But every team has about 30 guys on their team. They're just guys. Everybody's got the same 30, 35 guys. Everybody. Then you got another layer of about 10 that are above average and can win most of the time in their individual assignment. And then you've got another 10, if you're a really good team, or I'd say another 5 that are Pro Bowl caliber players. And then you have another 5 that are supreme difference makers. 1 to 5 that are supreme difference makers. And if you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can get 5 guys that are difference makers like that, like Aaron Donald, Kupp, Stafford, Jalen Ramsey on the same team. Now you got something. So it's a full roster construction, but it's that upper level that makes a difference in winning championships. That supreme talent that on that particular play, Cooper Kupp's going to run a route that's going to get open. Matthew Stafford's going to make a no-look pass that's unbelievable. That's going to be a key play in the game. Aaron Donald's going to run through a guy 3 or 4 times and make a huge play. Jalen Ramsey's going to make a big play. He saved the touchdown on the T. Higgins slant, even though he gave up some. So That's the difference. And you never know how getting those guys in the draft is a crapshoot.
Yeah.
It's a total crapshoot.
And clearly that's the new wave of the NFL, I think, because you just saw 2 teams do it that way. So if you don't do it, somebody else is going to. Now, make no mistake about it. Somebody else will do it.
100%.
So if you don't get a Russell Wilson, and we haven't even mentioned Deshaun Watson, who was also in the report.
Oh, that's right.
And I know you have probably an outlook on that one as well. But I have to throw him in the same hat. If you have a chance, in my mind, assuming legal issues go away or whatnot, and you're confident in that, I think you have to take a run at him too, because somebody's going to. You know it. You got to go through all options there.
I tweeted this out, and I'll tell you, and I'll say it again. And I said it last week on the show. No team owned by Darcy Glazer Kasowitz is going to trade lots of capital for Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is not going to be on this roster. When you have 22 sexual things, and I'm not here to judge one way or another, but there's a little bit of smoke there. Might be some fire. Yeah, I don't see a team owned by Darcy that's going to trade the face of their franchise, a guy that's accused of raping 22 women or having sexual misconduct.
I understand that.
So I think that's a smokescreen, and we can put that to bed.
I understand that. But I'm just saying,
I know you
from that report and from those 2 guys that reported it, that the Bucs have done their homework on it.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
I mean,
let's just be honest. It creates leverage. It creates leverage for the Buccaneers when they go after Russell Wilson. Seattle will be like, we'll have 5 first-round picks. And they go, okay, we'll just go talk to Houston about Deshaun.
We know what the price is for Deshaun.
Yes, until you guys, get a clue. So they've got to have some leverage, and I think that's what that is, because I don't think anybody in their right mind would believe that the Bucs are going to pull the trigger on Deshaun Watson. That's not happening. I could be wrong. I'm just saying,
if you take all the other stuff out of it, and I know it's hard to, but just take all of it out of it, I think that's the best option.
I think they're right in that. Until we find out some clarity.
Yeah.
Because, look, I could say, look, I've been a Deshaun Watson lover forever. I think the guy's unbelievable. I've been one of his biggest fans ever as a human being. I mean, I know a lot of people that know him. I don't know him personally, but I know a lot of people who know him, and they speak incredibly highly of him. I mean, they just do. This guy is the salt of the earth. His mother, his single mom growing up, Warwick Dunn, gave him a home. He was one of the most tremendous leaders in college at Clemson. I mean, he's salt of the earth. At least I thought so. But you never know what's inside a guy. You never know. You never know what kind of freak could be hiding down in there. So we don't, and I don't want to dismiss the veracity of these women's claims. So I just don't know. And when you're in that kind of limbo, you just gotta say hands off. You gotta just no thank you. I'm sorry that it sucks. The situation sucks for you. If you're completely innocent, it sucks. But I don't know that yet. Nobody does.
Yeah.
So, all right. So where do the Bucs go? I still think Russell Wilson is the best fit. I think it should be their number 1. I don't think Deshaun Watson's in play at all. I think the Gabbert Trask thing is only an option if you think you can get Brady back. Short of that, Garoppolo. I don't think anybody wants Jimmy Garoppolo here.
Besides me.
I know you're the only one. You look at what happens in these games. I mean, look at the Rams. They're the first team to win 3 playoff games by 3 points. And by the way, Matthew Stafford, 3-game winning drives in the postseason. That's the most ever.
It's clutch, G?
Yeah, that's clutch. And he made some clutch plays. So it's about the quarterback position. Listen, and they're going to be, if you rebuild here, everybody's going to go.
I get it. I do. I really, really do. But you could look at so many great quarterbacks in this league that can't sniff a Super Bowl.
I know.
That can't sniff what Jimmy Garoppolo
Listen,
has.
if my option is Jimmy Garoppolo or Teddy Bridgewater, Garoppolo. If my option is Garoppolo or Jameis, I still think Jameis has a higher ceiling. But, man, his floor is just – it's got a trap door in it.
Hey,
it's got a trap door in it. You just don't know.
JP, Garoppolo's ceiling is going to the Super Bowl. I hope you know that. Well, I hope you know that.
He ain't winning it.
How do you know?
Well, he could. He could.
God, I'm so tired of all you Jimmy G haters, man. All of you Jimmy G haters, man. You just deny winners.
All right, let's go back through the game a little bit. God, now we have to take another break. It's the top of the hour. We'll hit a break, and when we come back, we're going to run through all the key plays of the game, a little bit of analysis on each and every one. And we'll also hear from Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, Joe Burrow, McVay, And we'll get into a couple more stories as we go on. NIL in the state of Florida is a disaster right now. We haven't even talked about the appearance of a former Buccaneer in the Super Bowl. That was your favorite part of the game. So VH3 makes his debut in the Super Bowl when we come back. Homeowners, listen up. Property values have risen in the Tampa Bay area to record levels, some up to 24% in 1 year. It's time to refinance your home and pull out the equity before rates go through the roof. Call my man Scott Fitzgerald at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Scott believes interest rates will be over 5 very soon due to the volatile economy and inflation, but you can still lock in the mid-3s, but not for long. This means you can save tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Now, Scott is an independent broker, so he can shop your mortgage around for the best rates, and he'll pay for your appraisal if you mention you heard it here on the JP Show. That's a $500 to $700 value. Scott does not charge the huge upfront fees like the big banks do. In this uncertain economy and political climate, better to have cash in hand now. So call Scott at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Hey, folks, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center, a very different kind of approach to primary care. Personalized preventative medicine, not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. Christopher Lugo and his experienced medical staff are proactive in looking at issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Rather than the impersonal, rushed approach, you will be the only patient and will have our full attention. That's new. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. Bay Area Modern Medical Centers are experts in anti-aging regenerative medicine that optimizes your body's performance in many areas. So call for an appointment to get started on a journey back to full health and a happy life with a new, modern way of healthcare. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. JP here for my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defects, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure you will receive the most aggressive and compassionate representations. He has recovered millions in settlements on behalf of his clients facing defective stucco damage and other construction issues. So call Chris, mention the JP Show, and he will give you a free consultation. That's 813-221-5636 or go to PalermoPA.com. He's a fifth-generation Tampanian graduate of Jesuit High School and the University of Florida, and he cares deeply about you and the community. That's 221-5636 or PalermoPA.com. The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best ticket before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course at Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth wow the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com. Well, it's never been more important to support each other and support local businesses like Italiano Insurance that has been around for over 60 years, serving our community with great customer service and also giving back to our locals in need. Their Metropolitan Ministries Holiday Food Drive was another tremendous success this year. Why call a 1-800 number when you can call your trusted neighbors at Italiano Insurance who will save you money? In Boca Grande, 941-964-0400. That's 941-964-0400. Cryptocurrency is all the rage today. The market cap for the industry is now over $1 trillion. And you read about people making millions of dollars, right? You want to get in, but have no idea what to do? Or maybe you dabbled a bit and you want to unlock the real money-making opportunities and don't know how to do it. There are over 10,000 tokens and thousands of decentralized finance exchanges to navigate. So what do? You go to DeFiLava.com. The folks at DeFiLava.com are in Tampa Bay, and they work with you directly to set up custom accounts, answer all your questions, and provide market analysis. Decentralized finance and cryptocurrencies are here to stay and will change the financial markets as we know them. Get in the game. Get with the experts at DeFiLava.com and tell them JP sent you and get their free 2022 crypto market forecast today at DeFiLava.com. Don't get left behind, folks. Make some money at DeFiLava.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
Three-man rush. Did it a lot against Kansas City. 8 covering. Stafford says, go deep downfield, and it is picked off in the end zone. He sends Jefferson all the way down there, and Jesse Bates picks him off.
Oh, I wanted you to wait till Collins said, who's that guy on the field?
They didn't get there.
Oh, we didn't get there.
Doesn't go there, no.
This was Vernon Hargraves III. That's who it was. Coming off the bench. Welcome back to the second hour of the JP Peterson Show, presented by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. We are also presented by, in our second hour, Bay Area Modern Medical Center. The great folks over there, Christopher Lugo and his team at BAMMC.com. A very different kind of approach to primary care, personalized, preventative medical care, not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. They look at the proactive way to become a very healthy person through a healthy lifestyle, proper diet, supplements, and exercise. So when you go in there, they're going to give you the full Monty, so to speak. They're going to let you know what you're doing wrong in terms of your diet, what foods you're allergic to and should stay away from, getting information to keep you healthy, and obviously find out if you need testosterone replacement as an older fellow, something they do very, very well in a clinical environment where they're monitoring your blood numbers every quarter and doing it the right way and making sure that your emotional balance is well as well. It's a different way of doing things, and that's why they call it Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Check them out on the web, give them a call, and tell them JP sent you. They'll give you a free consultation. There you go. All right, so that was the play. Was that right before the half, right?
Yeah.
Right before the half, where the Rams are going down to get into score. They're already almost in scoring position. They had thrown a screen that got 10 yards. I'm thinking, they're in range for Matt Gay to kick a field goal, but Stafford takes a shot, and Bates comes up with the pick, and here comes your boy. It was your favorite moment, so talk about it.
It just makes me laugh every time I think of it. Who's that guy on the field? Chris Collinsworth said. I think Michaels said some guy from the practice squad was how he was referred to. Vernon Hargraves III, Buccaneers legend.
Was he the 11th overall pick?
11th overall pick, 2016. Vernon out of Florida.
What a horrible draft that was.
Out of Florida. The draft that set the Bucks back for a little while.
Wow.
But yeah, Vernon Hargraves, Mr. Inactive there. He made a difference. He made a difference in this game, and
so he gets a penalty for coming on the field in a non-uniform player coming on the field.
Yeah.
So instead of starting at the 20, they got to start at the 10 just before the half. They had about a minute to go.
They had a minute to go, yeah.
That's a big difference.
It was.
It's a big difference because you're calling different plays at the 10, you're calling at the 20. The defense almost is on the aggression at the 10. It's a totally different dynamic. And my God, how stupid do you have to be? No,
are we surprised?
No, well, I'm surprised we drafted him.
I'm surprised. How bad must Vernon? I'm just being honest. How bad must he be? Because I watched Eli Apple all night. I watched Chidobe Awuzie all night. How bad must Vernon Hargraves be that he can't even get on the field?
I think we know how bad he is.
Yeah,
I think we know that. It's funny because Rondé used to tell me that, this guy's got really good hips and he can run and, he was the ultimate, I don't give a shiz about football. He had great ability. There's no question. Probably still has great ability. He just doesn't give a shiz. He's just not his football IQ is very low. And it's clearly not that important to him.
And there was a discussion at that time heading into that draft, Jalen Ramsey or Vernon Hargraves. And Ramsey on the other sideline, watching that guy run
I
across.
totally forgotten about that. Like there was a question, like whenever there's a question like that, Seminole over Gator.
It's
quite
that
simple.
easy. It's
that
that
easy. Just look at the uniform.
Yeah.
All I need to do. I take my shots when I can get them. That's all I'm saying. I'm sure my Gator fans will come.
Hey,
back
you got
to
rep your nose today. You got 2 guys with a ring today.
That's true.
2 guys. And one guy who had to suffer through the worst period of FSU football. I feel bad for him.
Well, Cam Akers. He's looking at that offensive line and going, hey Joe, I know the feeling, bro. I know the feeling. You get the ball in your hands and there's 7 guys around you. Makes you a better football player, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Yeah, so Cam Akers and Jalen Ramsey get a ring. And it goes back to that 2013 team.
Yeah.
Cam wasn't on that team, I don't think.
No, Cam was not. No,
Ramsey was.
Ramsey was on that 2013 team, and then
that 2013 team, all 22 starters
went to the NFL.
Didn't necessarily make rosters. Were in camps. I think they had 11, 12 drafted in the top 3 rounds. I think. Yeah. I mean LSU, that team that LSU put together in 19 has since surpassed them in terms of all those numbers. But that was one hell of a team, and now Jalen Ramsey has a ring. And although he didn't have great playoffs,
no, he did not. No. Not a good game yesterday.
And that one, and we're going to go through some of these plays, so we'll get to it. But let's start it off. And I thought the game started off very predictably. I thought the Rams would get a lead in this game. I thought the Bengals will come out a little bit tight, and it just experience matters. A lot of these guys have played in the Super Bowl before. Obviously, Stafford has not, but Donald has. Some of these other guys have. So I thought it was. And Odell Beckham was having a hell of a game, and that injury, it's probably an ACL injury for him, which is sad because he was set up to make some big money in this offseason. We talked about him coming to the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I feel so bad for him, man. He was so excited all week long, and he got out of I think he said and
he's
Browns.
matured tremendously.
Yeah, he really has.
I bang on him a lot, for the boat trip and all that stuff, but that was a long time ago. It was a long time ago, and he's really turned his life around. He's matured, very Mike Evans-ish, although Mike wasn't as bad as Odell was early on. But Mike was a bit of a wild card when he first got here. Remember the Captain Morgan and whatever. He has developed into very much like Odell Beckham.
No, hold on. I think Captain Morgan was Safarian Jenkins.
Oh, it was. That's right. My bad.
Let's not. I don't want to kill.
But there were some moments for Mike early on that were a little bit immature. But he has turned into the greatest offensive player the Bucs have ever seen, and I think the same to be said for Odell. So I think we have to kind of change our perception of him, and I would very much like to see him in a Buccaneers uniform next year. Hopefully this knee injury is not too serious, but this catch right here to get things going was a thing of beauty.
Stafford going to the end zone, reaching up and making the grab. Odell Beckham Jr.
Super catch. A one-on-one situation off to the right. Great ball placement by Matthew Stafford. This is the difference. You saw a couple times, Burrow missed a few guys in key situations. Matthew did too, but this one was right on the money. It was a great placement and a great route, great catch by Odell.
You could almost say that Odell Beckham, because we said so much, the game flipped when he got taken out of the game, especially for the Rams. I think they were throwing a Skowronek or whatever.
That guy's off.
You had no business throwing a Skowronek in that game.
That dude's going to get a ring.
Yeah, I know.
He's wide open for
not right, man.
He was wide open for a touchdown against the Bucs. It was against the Bucs, wasn't it?
Yes.
And he just
remember
dropped
the interception that Stafford threw right off his hands.
It's dude, just get out of the way. It would be better than you fumbling up and handing it to the guy. Let's get off the field.
And without Higbee there, it's like they had to throw to him. I mean, the backup tight end got hurt too.
Yeah.
They were going through it, man.
But nobody to throw to.
So I'm not saying Odell should have won the MVP of the game, but you could make an argument he might have been the most valuable player at points in that game.
So that got the Rams off to a 7-0 lead. And then Cooper Kupp, who was the game MVP with a couple of touchdowns. This was, another curious defensive call. How the hell do you let Cooper Kupp come off the line so easily and get this open?
Stafford rolling and throwing. Caught, Kupp, touchdown.
Great route by Cooper Kupp. I don't even know why we're playing the audio here. Mal Michaels is like,
Al is not.
Well, he's the
not
quintessential television guy. He's
Yeah.
like, you can see what's happening. I don't have to tell every little bit, but so it doesn't necessarily make for great play-by-play calls.
Well, I feel like Chris needs to come in.
Yeah,
though.
Chris should
There's
come
a lot
in
of
right.
gap there.
Yeah, where was Collinsworth? Where was he?
I don't.
It was not their. It was not their normal rhythm.
No, and if that's how the 13-year partnership ends, I'm like,
Yeah,
disappointed.
It's like it had a feel of a director or somebody that they haven't worked with, kind of telling them like, lay out, let the crowd do their thing, and then jump in for analysis. It wasn't their normal rhythm.
He tried to make analysis on this play. I do remember, and they don't play it all here, obviously. But he said that Kupp on that play, broke it down that he blocked so much. I don't know if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he did a fake block in.
Yeah.
And that's what moved 20, who I think what is it? Is that Apple? I think, right?
The 20 is Apple, but I think this looked like a cover 2 down onto what is probably about the 18-yard line.
Yeah.
And the safety out there, I think, is I forget who it was. The safety on that side just didn't react fast enough going to the corner. And Kupp has this move that he makes right in his breaks, and sometimes off the ball too, where he puts his head down. He lowers his head, and it makes him run at his fastest speed. It's like when he's coming out of his breaks, he kind of lowers his head, and it gives him this. It's a great technique because he always pulls away when he does it. And instead of coming out of your break and looking for the ball, he comes out of his break with his head down and then looks for the ball, and it works.
But that really gives off the impression, because I think Collinsworth was trying to say that kind of gives off the impression that he's going.
Yeah,
block.
that too.
Is that actually?
I think so.
Because when I watched it, I'm like, it looks like he just ran a corner route and the safety was slow.
I think it serves two purposes. So I think, but he gets open, and that's an easy throw and catch right there.
Yeah, for some reason, him and Travis Kelce more than anybody in this league just get open.
Yeah,
they're always open.
Yeah,
and I don't get it. It's like we all know where the ball's going.
It's preparation and knowing what defenses you're playing, what they're responsible for. Like that safety right there is responsible for him going a two-way go. Like when he comes at him, it's with speed. And that's the thing about Cooper Kupp. He can break at top speed. Like he doesn't slow down to break. He lowers his body level. He lowers his head and his body level. So it lowers the center of gravity, makes him able to cut faster and not lose speed. And it's a great technique. And that's how he gets open. And it's just tremendous play right there. So that made it 13-3. And then just before the half, I believe this was the play or second quarter. Yeah. In the second and goal from the 6-yard line, Mixon had started to really start running the football. So they go toss, sweep, halfback pass. It's a great call and great execution.
Chase with Ramsey on him. A little toss here. Mixon's going to throw. Open man caught. Higgins touchdown.
See, now that's a play designed to take advantage of the safety, the new safety that's in there. Best, is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, the guy that started against the Buccaneers, we never ran a halfback pass because that's when the inexperienced safety comes up on the run and you just toss it right over his head, and that's great coaching. You're picking on a guy who's inexperienced in that situation who wants to get involved in the run game. It's a great call and great execution. That's good coaching. That's the essence of it.
And he peaked right there.
Yeah,
he peaked right there.
Yeah, he did. He probably did peak right there, but that was good. But again, where was that creativity for the Bucs against this Rams defense?
Yeah, we'll be asking ourselves that all offseason.
I'm sure Brady wanted it. And kidding. All right. So then second half, this was the Burrow to Higgins play that is much controversial.
Rice on this occasion, he told them, go finish.
Result on play action, finding room, going deep, and it's caught by Higgins. He goes in for the score. Jalen Ramsey fell down. And just like that, in 12 seconds, a 75-yard touchdown.
Little gritty there.
Yeah.
A little gritty in the end zone.
A little gritty. A little overplayed a little bit.
Look, he didn't fall down. He was tugged down. Grab of the face mask by Higgins. Clearly should have been called. Missed. Touchdown on Ramsey. And that's why when the PI at the end of the game, which was a bad call at a bad time, the one on the linebacker, that was, I guess, maybe a makeup call.
And we haven't talked about this yet, but this had me heated last night.
I bet it did.
I stood up on my repeated at the call.
So you had to break in all the boyfriend-girlfriend conversation that was going on around you?
My sister wouldn't shut
to
the
make
hell
a point
up.
about football?
I wish she wouldn't shut the hell up. She's talking about random stuff during the last minute of the game. I'm like, would you sit down? Shut your trap.
It's a Super Bowl. It's the last minute of Super Bowl.
Exactly. Or
nobody cares about little Joey.
Seriously.
Romance.
Seriously.
How many Valentine's Susie's going to get tomorrow at school?
Go eat a hot wing and get out of my room. I mean, it's ridiculous. But anyway, I digress. So that happens. All I could think of, okay, so they let everybody play that entire game.
I know.
There was no penalties.
I know.
And then it's like those stripes, man. Those stripes. I tell you what.
If you were one of those conspiracy theories that theorists that wanted, that the NFL wanted LA to win the game, well, there you go.
I'm not that guy.
There's some red meat for you. There's some red meat for you.
I'm going to tell you this. These stripes, I don't know what they're getting paid. I don't know what kind of gripe they got or what kind of agreement they got with the I don't know, okay? But they always got to be a part of everything. And for 58 minutes, they had nothing to do with this entire game. We were having a nice skate-free Super Bowl. We were flying. That game was flying by.
Free skate
Through. And in the last moment of the game, they had to make a difference. That call was awful.
It was.
You don't call that in week 2. Let alone the Super Bowl.
It was. And the other part of it was, their whole strategy on that drive was go to Cooper Kupp no matter how much he's covered.
Yeah.
And so he's going to Cooper Kupp and he's double covered and he's covered and then you're bailing him out. You're bailing him out right there. And that's that was third and goal from the 9.
Yeah. And
they don't make that call. They got to kick the field goal and we're going to overtime. Or at least
they couldn't kick the field goal because they missed the extra point earlier. It was 20-16. So
that's right.
It would have been fourth, and they had like 12 yards to get in the end zone. I'm sorry. That's a game-changing play.
Oh, of course it is. And it's first and goal at the 4.
Yeah, and the next play was the actual hold.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I got it. But I still can't get over the call. I really can't. I don't want to be that guy, well, the Bengals got robbed. I hate being that loudmouth like that.
But that call changed the entire game.
But it changed the entire game. And I don't think people are talking about it enough.
No, it did. There's no question about it.
When Collinsworth said that was one of the all-time Super Bowl drives by Stafford.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That made me cringe a little.
I agree with you. I don't, because you let them play the entire game, you're signaling to the players that you can get away with a little bit of something. You are. And good players react to that. They're going to, it was the linebacker, 55, Wilson.
Yes.
He'd had a great game, by the way.
Yeah,
a phenomenal game. And that should have been, we should be talking about him today. And that great play.
We really should.
Now, to be fair, the Rams would have had another shot at the goal, but that's about I think a league-wide 17% chance of a 4th and goal from the 9.
But then again, that's a tough go. The 2 plays before that, they took shots at the end zone. They weren't even close on either of them.
Right.
The Bengals clearly had something working for them down there in that moment. And then you move the ball up to, half the goal line. I mean,
besides the no call in the Saints game on the interference, I can't remember a call that was more critical to one team winning and one team losing in a Super Bowl. Can you?
Seriously, I can't. And we need to be talking about it more, in my opinion. I just don't. I'm not seeing anybody talking. It's like everybody forgot about it.
It's just weird that you went the entire game letting that stuff go. I mean, receivers and corners, linebackers were pushing and pulling, and the longer it goes during the game, the more you're going to get away with.
Exactly.
So they've established what the rules are going to be, how they're calling stuff, and then you and he didn't even really. I think he did tug him a little bit.
It was so ticky-tacky.
But by that time, the ball, that ball was never going to be completed. Never going to be completed in that situation. Because even though he may have grabbed him a little bit, there was a defender on the other side. So he wasn't like running away to an open area, and it was just a ticky-tack call.
Yeah.
And in the most critical point of the game.
You just can't do it. You just can't do it. And that's what I say. They stay out of the game.
Yeah.
Stripes. I can't get over it. But I mean, back to the T. Higgins touchdown. Yeah, he didn't fall down. He clearly was face masked. That was clear as day, first of all.
But I just want, because the referees know they missed that call.
Oh,
while they're on the field, they know they missed that call. And they missed. No.
Did Goodell just walk into their little locker room at halftime?
Didn't have to. He has the bat phone. He just speaks into his watch in Mandarin Chinese and gives instructions. Kidding. Maybe not. So I'm sure there's a reason the Chinese wanted the Rams to win. I'm positive it is. All right, so let's move on. So that made it 17-13. The Bengals have the lead in the Super Bowl in the second half. Nick Geddes, are you aware of that?
I was.
But then the drive that will forever live in infamy after those two critical calls, they line up Cooper Kupp off the ball, outside, by the way, off the ball, not on the ball. Good coaching, because that gives him a little bit more freedom to get away from the jammer, the press coverage at the line. It was who was on him? Is that the great Eli Apple?
Mr. Eli Apple, yeah.
So Stafford had to take a bite of the apple. The original sin.
Taking bites all night,
Oh,
man.
geez. He had a couple of apples, I think. And this was the game winner.
By the way, all-time great call right here from Al Michaels.
So he's going down in history with this one. All right, here we go. Courtesy of NBC Sports.
Pass. Kupp! Got it. Touchdown.
There you go.
How much time's left?
We got about 5 more seconds of dead air here.
I know. How much time was left in the game when he scored?
Minute 25.
Minute 25. Team takes the lead in the Super Bowl. Pass. Caught. Kupp. Touchdown. That's all you get.
That's all you get.
Okay. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. Let's just say that.
He didn't have his fastball last night.
It did not have his fastball.
No, he did
Neither
not.
one of them did.
No, it was weird.
Something was going on. But they had a new director or something going on. Somebody came down from up above and meddled in everything. It just feels like it. One of those deals. All right, so that gave them the lead 23-20, and then Aaron Donald a third. They start off well with the chase. Great throw by Burrow. They get a big chunk play of about 25 yards to get to midfield, and you're thinking, how much time was left in that? So there's like 41 seconds left there on the third and one.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time. And I think they even had 2 more timeouts, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Plenty of times. All you got to do is go literally 15, 20 more yards, and McPherson's going to make the field goal.
Yeah, and you got the whole field to play with the 2 timeouts. You don't even have to force it to the out.
So on 3rd and 1, they call a running play to Samaje Perine. Who had that on their call sheet? Right at Aaron Donald.
Right at him.
At him.
Nothing. There's no misdirect. Nothing. Just straight to Aaron Donald.
Straight handoff. One guy back. A single block against a guy who hasn't blocked him all night. All night he hasn't blocked him. Well, I got an idea. It's 3rd and 1. Let's run right behind that guy who's getting his ass kicked by Aaron Donald, and we'll maybe leave him in a 1-0. Dude.
And if you're going to do
it. That's your play call?
If you're going to do it that way, I'm just saying. Joe Mixon, I think, led the AFC this year, or was second in the AFC in rushing yards. He kind of can move a little bit. Samaje Perine, he can't move. He's got no burst. He took like 2 steps and was hit. That was it.
I think what they're doing there, they're in a 4-wide formation.
No, this right here is the play. This was the one after.
Oh, okay. So yeah, but what are you doing? 3rd and 1, and if you're going to run right at him, where's the double team? How do you not double team Aaron Donald if you're going to run right there?
Zach Taylor botched that whole sequence.
Unless that wasn't where the running back was supposed to go. I got to go break down the tape and see that. But my God, that's got to be the worst call in history.
It is. I mean,
and by the way, Aaron Donald defeats the block and reaches out with one hand and literally stops Perine. Perine can't even fall forward a yard with his momentum, with Aaron Donald just sticking an arm out.
He's not a small guy either, Perine.
No, he's not.
He's really not.
That's a beast of a play and a terrible call.
Yeah.
All right, so it's now 4th and 1. By the way, I think I got a bad spot on that because Perine reached the ball out, and that he was very close to getting a first down. Didn't quite get it. I'm glad they didn't stop and do the whole challenge thing, but whatever. And then this 4th and 1, they don't even think about running the football in this situation, and they're going to throw it, and they're going to leave Aaron Donald one-on-one with the left guard.
Look at it. I'm looking at it. This is bad.
Let's run it.
Burrow trying to keep it going, gets spun down, gets it away, and incomplete. It looked like Perine might have had a shot to make the grab, but the Rams now.
Yeah, I thought Perine could have dove for that ball at the very least.
I mean,
give an effort.
What do you think Samaje Perine is going to do in that game? I mean,
where's Joe Mixon?
Why is he not? How do
Where
you do
is
that?
Joe Mixon?
Your best players need to be on the field in the big moments, not Samaje Perine. That's awful. That's just bad.
Zach Taylor was terrible.
It was a joke. I'm sorry. It's a joke. He let you let your entire team down in that moment.
Awful. So that's it. That's all she wrote as the Rams win it 23-20. The Bengals cover with the missed extra point. It was 4.5, right?
It was 4.
At 4. It was 4.5 most of the week. I think most of the people got it at 4.5. I got it at 4.5. I took the Bengals at 4.5 for a little bit of cheese, not a lot of cheese. I wasn't that confident, but I did tweet out. You did. Before the game, here's my call. Rams 27, Bengals 23. Aaron Donald gets the sack on the final drive to win the game. That was pretty good.
You'd sack him.
Close enough.
Sack him.
Close. That's my prediction, but it was close enough. Aaron Donald made the play. My point. That was pretty good prediction. That was pretty close because I got who's winning, who's covering, and yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, mine got squashed. 34-17, I think I said.
Yeah, you were.
If Odell's in that game, I mean, they're running away with it.
Yeah, probably. But that's not the way it works. But damn, Vegas knows, don't they? Vegas knows.
Good thing I didn't put any money on this game.
Nah, a little. I thought the 4.5 was a really good feel.
By the way, I don't think they said anything about no Icky Shuffle on that telecast last night or that broadcast.
No, just
I didn't
the
hear
commercial.
anything Icky Shuffle.
I don't think it was.
There's a lot of things I didn't hear last night. Actually, I didn't see anything. Was there a flashback to Boomer Esiason in the Super Bowl?
No, I did not see a Boomer.
That. There was none. Did I even see Kurt Warner lifting it up in '99? I didn't see that either. Somebody tell me if I'm mistaken, but I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't watch every single minute. I was a little bit distracted here and there, but doing it, sending out snarky tweets and stuff.
Yeah, but remember we went through all those like little bets. What they're going to say, what they're going to show. I don't recall any of that being shown. We'll have to tomorrow's show. We'll go back through all the prop bets and see what was said and what wasn't said. Because I remember there were a lot of prop bets about the halftime show too. All right, let's just. And by the way, Aaron. So Rodney Harrison, the pregame, drops a bomb about, hey, Aaron Donald told him after their interview that if he wins, he might ride off into the sunset. I think he will. Let's listen to him after the game.
Obviously emotional. What's the immediate feeling you've got right now?
I'm just so happy. I wanted this so bad. I dreamed this, man. I dreamed this, and it's like, it's surreal. Look at this, man. I feel amazing. Man. I feel great.
What did you see on that last play that enabled you to do what you did and make that stop?
Strain. What
do you say, strain?
Play to be world champs. Give it everything you got. I found the way to get to them.
I can't help but believe there's a single block of me.
That's all that matters. So
you talked about the confetti, the feeling. I know you're going to get a chance to hug that Lombardi trophy that you wanted to hug for so long. How does this measure up to what you thought it might be like, Aaron?
It's the best feeling in the world, man. God is great. I'm lost to word. I don't know what to say. This is a blessing.
You had talked about wanting to possibly call it a day and retire after this. What do you think?
Getting a hug from Sean McVay. Ron Miller.
I'm in a moment. I'm going to just enjoy this right now with these guys. When my kids come on the field, this is the promise I made to my daughter when she was 5. So we're going to play in the confetti for a minute, man. And I'm just going to live in the moment.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That chokes me up a little bit.
That's what it's all about, man.
That is a guy that, you could tell from the NBC did a great job of showing his reaction to plays on the sideline. He was into it, man. This is a guy that gets it. This is a guy that all fans want to see, that will just give everything he has to win a game. It's not about the money. It's about playing with the confetti with his daughter that he promised when she was 5. I'm going to win the Super Bowl. And the dude went out and did it single-handedly. What's your feeling right now? Can you believe they effing singled me on both those plays? With that jamoke across from me? Are you kidding me? That's what he should have said. but that would have been disrespectful.
No, I mean, if that's it for Aaron Donald at the age of 30, I know that you saw Lawrence Taylor. Everybody speaks of him like this unbelievable, different type of player.
Yeah.
I saw Aaron Donald, okay? And I have to believe this guy was my generation's Lawrence Taylor. Well, at a much harder position to do it from, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you understand how incredibly, like the guy that he literally picked up and moved back into Stafford on that third down sack or play. I mean, the guy's 325 pounds, 6'4".
Yeah.
And he just literally pushes him like he's on roller skates right back into the quarterback. The strength of this man and his leverage that he plays with is just, it's unbelievable. I remember when he was at the Senior Bowl at about 270.
Yeah.
And he literally was destroying everybody. And everybody's like, wow, this guy's going to be unbelievable. And then there was a lot of scouts, he's undersized. He can't play in the NFL. Whoops. Whoops. No, well, maybe not.
That's the craziest thing. You look at some of his stuff from Pitt, and I'm like, damn, 10 teams passed up over this guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Because of his size or lack of size. Yeah. You know, Vita Vea can be this guy. He can be this guy. And I think, I don't know if Vita's such a happy-go-lucky guy. I mean, does he have the intensity level needed to play like this guy plays?
Here's the thing, though.
He's unstoppable. Here's the thing, no. He's unstoppable.
The weight that he plays at, though, Aaron Donald, I mean, and combined with the strength, I mean, that's what allows him to do the kind of stuff he does.
Yeah.
Vita Vea I don't think he could ever do. Vita Vea is not nearly the kind of, he shows it in spurts, like every now and then
he doesn't have the quickness.
He doesn't have the quickness.
He's fast and he's a great athlete and he runs like a deer.
Maybe he's 340 pounds, 355, whatever.
Donald's about what, 290? Too big. He's playing at 290.
He's under 300, I think.
Yeah. So he's like a running back, a bigger running back linebacker that just plays with that incredible strength. I did see Lawrence Taylor play, and Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White. Reggie White and Lawrence Taylor are the best defensive players I've ever seen. They just threw people out of the way, manhandled them, got wherever they wanted to go, and wreck games.
This guy's got to be number 3, though, right?
I would almost group them together. I can't differentiate from them, either one of them. They're that good. They're just different. They're just way different than the greatest players on the planet. The biggest, strongest men on the planet. These guys are just way better than. It's crazy. All right, we got a little Matthew Stafford.
There wasn't much from Stafford, but here's one of him talking about. He talked about Detroit a lot yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
And kind of the love he got there.
It's kind of cool.
It's kind of what he still feels there.
Yeah.
So we'll listen to that one.
It's an unbelievable feeling. To be able to move in with this group and go to work with the special guys that we have on our team was amazing. Took me under the wing, showed me how it's done down here, and I just tried to come in here, play my game, have fun, and we're sitting here now, world champs. Pretty sweet.
Matthew, sometimes when a guy leaves a city, there's hard feelings. It never felt that way when you left Detroit. Could you feel the love, not only from the organization, but the fans over this last month during this title run?
Yeah, I really could. It was amazing. Like you said, there's no reason for them to cheer for me anymore, and the fact that they did was just a true testament to who they are as people and who they are as fans. You played in the Midwest city, you know the deal, and they live and die with those guys, their players, and to have that support all the way across the country here playing in this game means the world to me and my wife, my family. They helped us through a bunch of tough times and, are a huge reason I'm sitting here today.
Class act at Matthew Stafford. I got to do a little bit of an apology to him as well. I never thought that Matt Stafford had the leadership ability to lead a team to a Super Bowl. I thought that was, as great as he is, he wasn't able to win those big games. But he definitely shut me up with what he did this year. And I said that after, him playing against the Buccaneers. He's a fearless player, and you have to be that fearless player. You almost have to make mistakes. You throw a couple interceptions, but you got to have the guts to make the big play in the moment. And that no-look pass that he made over the middle to Cooper Kupp was unfreaking believable. That one should go down in history.
It should.
It should go down in history. One of the greatest, gutsiest, ballsiest throws ever. I mean, he literally looked at the tight end and got Von Bell to vacate that area and threw it right behind his ear as Cooper Kupp came around him. I mean, that was as good a throw and executed in the moment. No look.
I mean, if you're going to win a Super Bowl, you gotta be gutsy.
That's the throw that Alex Smith would never make.
No,
and that's why he never got over the hump.
No, I mean that's the perception of Matthew Stafford changes so quick. Like he was 0-3 in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He's 4-3 now with the Super Bowl championship. And I said this last week on the show that I did by myself for some of it, that Matthew Stafford, if you look at by number standpoint, when this guy retires,
he's Hall of Famer.
He's going to be in the top 5 in every passing category.
Yeah.
And now he's got a Super Bowl. He just got himself a gold jacket. Think about that.
No
and this
question.
was a guy that people like you and everybody said can't win a big one.
Nope.
You know, he's barely top 10, maybe, you know.
Always respected his talent and always loved, like I had a chance to hang out with him a few times when I was in Buckhead many years ago when I lived in Atlanta working for the Falcons, because he was always out and his wife were always out in Buckhead. And we had some mutual friends, and just, you know, and not that I got to know him very well at all, but we sat at the same table, talked a little bit. And I saw the way he interacted with his friends and people and fans that came up. I'm going to tell you what, the dude is as nice and as wonderful a human being as you. And that was my problem. I always thought he was too nice a guy. Like, he's too nice a guy. He's not badass enough to have alpha males follow him the way they do a Brady or some of these other guys. And he was wearing his head on backwards. He just looks like a regular guy. He's not that big a guy. He just looks like a regular dude. I'm like, yeah, it's not Tom Brady, you know. But I was wrong. I was completely wrong, because when he gets on the field, he's a tough son of a bitch, and he's got huge onions, humongous onions. And he displayed them.
Yeah, I mean that
in a very real way.
I keep going back to that throw, and I think of, you know, the Eli Mannings in the world, who nobody's going to argue is the most talented quarterback. But guess what? In the moment, he had the balls to throw some outlandish passes in the Super Bowl, and he's a 2-time champ because of it. And there's a lot of guys who couldn't make that throw. I mean, I know we bang on Aaron Rodgers a lot, but there's a reason why he hasn't gotten back to the Super Bowl, because he doesn't make these aggressive throws.
Right.
Stafford led the league this year in interceptions. He led the league in interceptions this year. People said it's going to be the death of him. You can argue it's what got them.
Yeah,
you got to be aggressive.
And the same times you're throwing interceptions, you know, and that's what people say about Jameis Winston. He throws too many picks. There's no question about that. No question. But you've got to have, you know, he also won a national championship throwing a ball he probably shouldn't have thrown.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, let's just be honest with that. But you have to have those onions in that moment to do it, or it's not going to happen. You know, and that's the bottom line of it. Mm-hmm. The difference between a hero and a GOAT as a quarterback in the NFL is about 3 inches. And you go back to the national championship game and the throw he makes to number 80 on the Rashad Green. There's three Auburn players
throwing it,
and he throws a strike. He threw the hell out of it, and he hit him right in the chest as those 3 guys collide, and he's running down the field to set up and then the throw to Benjamin. Carlton Davis III was right on his ass. I mean, he's right there. But he throws it up high, and Kelvin goes up and gets it. That's a play that most quarterback coaches go, don't throw it there. But he did. And you got to have, and if he throws it, 1 yard to the inside, it's picked off, and you're the GOAT. You throw it up top, Kelvin goes and gets it, you're a hero. And with Matthew Stafford, that's the difference between when you've got a team around you, though, that can help you make up for those mistakes. A roster around you. When he was in Detroit, he would make those mistakes. Those guys couldn't pick him up ever. No. The defense wasn't good enough. The surrounding players weren't good enough. But in this case, with this team, he has it.
And that's why you got to give General Manager Les Snead a lot of credit and Sean McVay for going, man, we have every piece here except for the quarterback, and we could maybe win with Jared Goff. We know we can win with Matthew Stafford. Yeah, and that's the difference.
Great stuff. All right, we'll take our final break. When we come back on the other side, got to hit a couple more stories. The NIL story is interesting. They wrote about it in the Times today. We've talked about that a little bit before. I almost saw AP at the airport in LA getting arrested. There's news on Kyler Murray as well, and we'll touch back on the Bucs quarterback chase when we come back. Stay with us. Homeowners, listen up. Property values have risen in the Tampa Bay area to record levels, some up to 24% in 1 year. It's time to refinance your home and pull out the equity before rates go through the roof. Call my man Scott Fitzgerald at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Scott believes interest rates will be over 5 very soon due to the volatile economy and inflation, but you can still lock in the mid-3s, but not for long. This means you can save tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Now, Scott is an independent broker, so he can shop your mortgage around for the best rates, and he will pay for your appraisal if you mention you heard it here on the JP Show. That's a $500 to $700 value. Scott does not charge the huge upfront fees like the big banks do. In this uncertain economy and political climate, better to have cash in hand now. So call Scott at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. If you're feeling run down, your workout sucks, or your sexual libido is not what it used to be, check out Bay Area Modern Medical Center. That happened to me a few years ago, and I found out I had the testosterone level of a second-grade girl. That's not good. Our food, environment, and stress can cause your T levels to drop. Bay Area Modern Medical Center can help, and they are different. They offer customized hormone replacement for both men and women. Christopher Lugo and his medical staff can help you restore your energy, your sex drive, and your feelings of well-being. It was a total game changer for me. I have way more energy, lost 30 pounds, and I'm performing better in all areas of my life. Nobody wants to talk about sexual health, but it's key to a balanced life. We offer discreet treatments with real-world results. So if you're suffering from a lack of interest in sex, ED, or lack of sexual stamina, Dr. Lugo and his staff can help. Take your health care to the next level at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course in Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth. Wow, the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com. JP here for my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defects, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure you will receive the most aggressive and compassionate representations. He has recovered millions in settlements on behalf of his clients facing defective stucco damage and other construction issues. So call Chris, mention the JP Show, and he will give you a free consultation. That's 813-221-5636, or go to PalermoPA.com. He's fifth-generation Tampanian graduate of Jesuit High School and the University of Florida, and he cares deeply about you and the community. That's 221-5636 or PalermoPA.com. Are you selling your home or refinancing? JP here for Greenleaf Title. You choose the title company, not the realtor, and it makes a difference. You want a reputable company that will make sure your title is safe and secure. There are a lot of scammers out there right now. So go with a trusted company like Greenleaf Title. Plus, they will close anywhere, folks, and they will send a limo to pick you up to come to the closing. Yep, the great JP Limo Closing is back. All you got to do is give them a call at 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. We'll set up the limo for you. They'll come pick you up. Heck, we even picked up one couple, took them to Black Rock Restaurant, one of our favorite advertisers, and then to the closing. That's how they do it at Greenleaf Title. Great service. We'll close anywhere. The lowest fees in the business. 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. That's greenleaftitle.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
Fan Dream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, presented by the law offices of Christopher Palermo, PalermoPA.com. Also, our second hour is presented by Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Bay Area Modern Medical Center offers customized hormone replacement treatments for both men and women. Christopher Lugo and his experienced team will get you right, balancing your hormones and help restore your energy, sex drive, and feelings of well-being. So if you're feeling a little run down, guys or ladies, check them out, Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Head on over there, BAMMC.com. Get all their information. Go in for a consultation and tell them JP sent you. If you know what, if you're feeling just not great, getting older, make a bold decision. Go do it. Just walk in there, tell them JP sent you, and they'll do all the rest. And it's not just about, giving you a script for this or a script for that. They're going to look at your diet, your exercise, everything you're doing in your life, your sleep habits, and change it all. And for the better. You'd be amazed how much better you feel in just a little while. Get the experts working on your side. That's Bay Area Modern Medical Center. It's also Valentine's Day, in case you didn't know. Guys, I'm feeling it. I told you my theory that I think this is going to be a bad Valentine's for many guys because all guys wait for the day before, right, to do it, to go shopping. And the day before was Super Bowl, so you really couldn't go do it.
It's bad timing.
So it's bad timing. So having the Super Bowl right before Valentine's Day, it's a juxtaposition that's not going to work well for many men. I'm just saying. The Gold and Diamond Source can bail your ass out today. The Gold and Diamond Source will bail you out. They have the greatest selection. Anything in your budget, just run in there and say, hey, Troy, hey, Julie, hey, Steve, I'm up against it. I got $100. I got $1,000. I got $500, whatever. Show me something good for 80, package it up nice, and within 10 minutes, you're out of there. Don't even waste time on making the selection. Let them do it. You'll just screw it up. But it's easy. Just go to Golden Diamond Source. Don't have to worry about parking or anything. It's right there. If you're in Tampa, it's just over the Howard Franklin Bridge on your left, 3800 Ulmerton Road, about 10, 15 minutes, depending on how fast you drive. It's easy. And, of course, it is a local company, and we support the great folks over there.
Absolutely. And I hope everybody, by the way, that my Instagram, by the way, I hope everybody knows that I love my fiance now.
Of course you love it.
I hope everybody knows it because I took the time this morning to actually post something on Instagram, Because when Valentine's Days come and you don't post something on Instagram, for some reason, it's like, oh, you're awful. How could you do that? Okay, I'm not that super big in Valentine's Day.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. So if you're in a relationship, which it's been a while for me, you have to post something. Apparently,
if you don't post it on
you don't
Instagram,
make a public declaration of your love.
I don't put a public declaration of it. It doesn't happen.
Really?
It doesn't mean much.
You got a ring on her finger, though. I mean, that's pretty public. You got all the pictures on your IG.
And I got a bank statement, too, for it.
Oh, we didn't even mention. I had to teach you self-promotion because you clearly have fallen down.
What?
You're hole in one. You're hole in one this weekend. Oh, look at him.
Listen, I know.
You got a hole in one. You're first, right?
I know 99% of you bad golfers out there will never have one in your life. But yeah.
Many good golfers don't have holes in one.
I know. But I did.
I mean, I have two.
Hey, but I do.
But much older.
Were you 22 when you did it, though?
No, my first was like 38, I think. 38, 39.
The problem is, though, my golf life, again, has hit a peak, and there's only down from there. He's only down from there now.
No,
that's the problem.
That's not true. I've had higher. Well, I had another ace, and then I've shot better scores in better places. So yeah, no, it's not the pinnacle of your golf life. I hope, for God's sakes, it's very early for that. So tell us about it.
Par 3, 185.
Wow, legit.
Both
of mine are 9 irons. 145, 150.
Yeah, I was not using a 9-iron. That's for sure.
So I need a legit one like this one. It's got to be over like 150, right?
Yeah,
185 is legit.
185. That's a far par 3 for the courses I go to.
Mm-hmm.
So, and by the way, it's Huntington Hills in Lakeland. I don't know if you've heard of it over there.
No. Look like a nice course.
Yeah, not bad. But yeah.
What'd you hit?
I don't want to talk about it.
No, you got to talk about it. Don't say driver.
Oh no, I didn't hit a driver.
Okay.
No, I hit a 4-iron.
Well, that's legit. Most guys, 4-iron, 185.
There's not a lot of meat here, guys.
I hit mine 200, 195.
Yeah. But I hit it clean. It could be clearly. Best golf shot I've ever hit clearly.
Yeah.
And just
a lot of times, guys, they're hit worm burners or something like that.
No.
So you flushed it.
Oh, this was flushed.
You flushed
and
it,
I'm
yeah.
just standing there watching it. I'm going to force them, and they're all behind me watching it. And they're like, that thing's going to go in. And I'm not believing it a second.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching it. It hits perfectly there on the green, and it's just taking the slope.
Mhm.
And I got to watch it just go down.
Oh,
the
that's
slope.
awesome.
And it just, I went in, and there was people all around that started watching it that were on other greens.
Really?
They were about to tee off, rather. They all stopped and turned, and my friends went absolutely nuts and like mobbed me and everything. And
Like the Waste Management this weekend?
yeah, it was exactly like
Garbage
that.
everywhere?
Basically, yeah. And
How about that? Was that a great scene or what?
It was awesome. That was awesome.
So you did it the same day What's-His-Face did the other day at
I did
Waste Management?
Yeah, I did it on Friday there. So
What a
I didn't even
scene
know
that was. Did you see that?
I've never seen that before, man.
Oh my God, they do it right there.
That was awesome.
They do it right there.
That was great.
We could do the same thing. But the problem is at 17 in the snake pit at Valspar.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I've been told we got some announcements coming up this week of some more players coming to the Valspar. We'll do that probably on Wednesday with Tracy West. So stay tuned. Yeah, at Valspar 17, it's ridiculously hard. They usually play it at like 210, 215. It's a hard and it's a very thin green. So, but they have the big, area around it. They have the all hospitality around it.
Yeah.
So they could do it if they wanted to. But they'd have to shorten it up and let the guys hit from like 150, which would be fun. At least one day a week, I think they should do that.
Yeah.
Move it up to like 130 with all that. I mean, totally would change the whole, but why not? Like on Thursday or Friday, like Friday afternoon when everybody's hammered, just move it up to like 130, 140. Well, and and another thing I found out, a local player here is going to be, get a sponsor's exemption into the Valspar. That's going to make many of my friends. We can't say who just yet, but we'll announce that later on in the week. So that's cool. All right. Some other stories. Kyler Murray. Wow. There's a lot of talk about him possibly being traded to the Buccaneers. I'm not sure I'd like, as much as I love that guy's game, it has regressed quite a bit. He is oft injured, and evidently he's a bit of a problem child.
You know what? And I read that
report. It's hard. You don't know what to believe, though.
I don't know what to believe, but I read the report, and I think I've said this a few times. I don't know why that guy gets a pass when it comes to criticism. I really don't. In this age where we like to criticize everybody, I've always felt like he just kind of skate free of it, and he finally got some for his play there against the Rams.
Right.
And if he really feels like the scapegoat, buddy, you're the quarterback.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, you were not good.
He was awful
in the last half of the season. You just weren't, and you were awful in that game. You're damn right you're the scapegoat because it was on you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I read that report, and I see that he wants $50 million, and he's just demanding that. You haven't even won a playoff game, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, everybody needs to slow down. And I see a lot of people, well, it's Kyler Murray. You have to pay him. Do you? Do you? I don't think you do.
Not yet.
No, you need to prove something in my opinion.
I mean, if you're Arizona, you got to be picking up his fifth-year option pretty soon.
I get that.
But if the relationship is souring and clearly he's taking all the social media off and all that, it seems like a really immature thing to do as a quarterback. Even if you don't like what's going on in your organization, keep it in-house and try to get things changed.
Yeah,
doing it overtly like that, I think is I don't think that's good leadership.
And from a character perspective, I guess I am a little shocked by it because I always took him as a very, quiet dude. And maybe that's part of his leadership that's not there. I don't know. I mean, I remember during that game, they had Russell Wilson on, and they asked Russ, I think the Mannings did, what would you be doing right now? And he's like, I'd be running up and down the sideline, like saying, like, hey, we still got a chance. We still got this. And the camera show Kyler Murray, and he's just sitting there by himself on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's something to that, but we'll see.
Other news, we hit it a little bit early on. Oh, by the way, Eric Bieniemy might not be coming back as the OC in Kansas City. This is interesting. This is an interesting situation. And you can look at all these guys that are getting taken off the offensive staff for the Rams, that are going to other places. Clearly Zach Taylor's had success, and you say, why is Eric Bieniemy not getting a similar treatment? Andy Reid calls the plays just like McVay calls the plays. These OCs that don't call plays and have great quarterbacks, what is their value? What is their worth? Can they lead men? Can they be head coaches? I think it's a valuable question and a valid question.
Well, he's a free agent right now, technically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's all those reports that he's going to entertain college offers. I'm sure he's just going to leverage all of it and see what he can get paid out there maybe. maybe there's an easier opening for him to get a head coaching job there because he's done everything with the NFL. He's interviewed with half the teams and can't get a job.
Right. That's something, bizarre situation. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, every black assistant coach should get an opportunity. No, absolutely not. But the ones that have shown success and have a leadership pedigree absolutely should. Byron Leftwich, Todd Bowles, that's always been the whispers about Bieniemy. Is he a great leader of men? He's had some issues in his life, and those are questions that clearly a lot of people aren't comfortable with. All right. Appreciate you guys listening each and every day. Don't forget, if you missed any of the show, you can download our app, and Stream Sports, all one word, and you can just tap that app and the show will pop up. You can also go to YouTube and subscribe to the JP Peterson Show. Be notified when the show is posted. It's posted at 12 o'clock every day, and you can watch it that way. You can always watch it on our Twitter and on our Facebook, and also on Spotify and Apple. So enjoy the show each and every day. Thanks so much for tuning in. The numbers are going through the roof. Appreciate the sponsors. We'll be back tomorrow with more fun and frivolity. See you then.